What's up guys, Sean from the Nerd Lair here. Thanks for tuning into this video, and on today's episode we're back. It's been almost a year, but we're back in the white void of nostalgic commercials. That's right. We've tried our hand at some food commercials, some video game commercials. Now we're gonna roll the dice and try some board game commercials. And these ones aren't really weird like the other two videos that I made. These ones are just memorable because the catchy fucking theme songs, man. I can't even tell you how many commercials for board games that I saw back in the day that had the catchiest theme song of all time. Once you heard it, it was like an earworm and it just got stuck in there until you heard another one. Then that one would get stuck in there, and then you heard another one, and then that one, and that one, and it would just keep going and going until it would loop back around to that first one you heard. So with that being said, we're gonna take a look at some of my favorite catchy board game commercials.
Gather round, mice.
What are we doing, boss?
We're going in for the big cheese, but it's every mouse for himself, so don't get caught.
Mousetrap! It's a zany action, a crazy contraption. The fun is catching, it's Mousetrap.
The game's Mousetrap. Build a contraption to trap the other mice, but don't get caught yourself.
Turn the crank, use the boost. Suddenly, we're down the chute. Move the hand, the marble drop, the dive, a flip, we just can't stop. It's a zany action, a crazy contraption. The fun is catching. Wanna bite? It's Mousetrap.
Mousetrap. That game was, you know what? I've never played Mousetrap, to be honest with you. I remember people setting up the contraption and then setting it off and watching it go, and it was awesome every single time, but never really played the game with the game pieces moving around the board. But I saw the commercial probably about 1 billion times as a kid, and every time I saw it, it looked awesome, it sounded awesome, but playing it, it was just all about that Mousetrap. No one cared about the actual game. On to the next one.
Who's got a crush on you?
Hello, Hunks! It's Dream Phone, the electronic game with the talking phone. To win, call guys, get clues, figure out which guy really likes you.
He's not wearing a hat.
Bye, guys! What'd he say?
My secret.
Ah,
You.
He's not at the beach.
See you later, guys. It's Dan! Dan, my man!
You're right. I really like you.
Yes!
Dream Phone, the hot electronic talking phone game.
It's for you.
It's Dan! Dan's my man! Oh! Now, obviously, this was marketed towards girls, and the Angry Video Game Nerd, or I should say Board James, has debunked this in a way that it's not necessarily a game for girls. It's actually a pretty fun detective-esque game. I never played it myself, but I always remember seeing the commercial, and after watching his Board James video on it, it actually made me want to play it. If anyone out there has a Dream Phone and wants to invite me over so we could, call up some cute boys, I'm down.
Fellas, heard about this new game called SPLAT? I hate when that happens.
Oh, we love it!
Splat, splat, splatting bugs is where it's at. Splat.
That wasn't so bad. That was.
The game Splat. You make bugs in the Bug-O-Matic.
Go splat my bug!
If you don't want your bugs to get splatted, you gotta be the first to get them to safety.
Splatting bugs is where it's at. Splat.
I hate when that happens.
Oh, we love it!
Splat.
From Milton Bradley.
Milton Bradley made some bangers when it came to board games. Splat is definitely an era-accurate board game. It came out in the 90s, I'm assuming, and it just perfectly emphasizes 90s interesting original board game ideas. And again, the theme song, it's super simple, but that's why they get stuck in your head, because they're easy to remember. And since it's saying the same thing over and over to a beat, that beat gets stuck in your head and you can go splat, splat, splat bugs is where it's at. And that's the theme song. It just gets stuck in there, man, until you hear the next one, which is...
Put the pieces into the slot, make the right selection, but be quick, you're racing the clock. Goes perfection. You race to fit the shapes into the slots, but you better be quick, or the section will pop. This piece here and that piece there, put those pieces everywhere, but be quick or beware. Goes perfection. I did it! Perfection from Milton Bradley. Wow!
What is that cartoon where, or maybe it wasn't a cartoon, maybe it was a live action show where the guy, he had the chin, the nose, and the hair. I want to say it's like Sleepy Town or something. Lazy Town, I think it's Lazy Town. He reminds me of a character from that show. Really exaggerated facial features and wow, pop goes perfection. Yeah, I don't know. It's just another really catchy song. Never got to play this one as a kid, but it looks really, really enjoyable as far as like satisfaction. You gotta put the pieces into the slots before the thing blows up, and I don't know, it's just like a nice little brain exercise sort of game. So I really would play this now, honestly. Anyway, great song, great game, I guess. I never played it, but it looks fun. Next commercial.
Doctor, my belly aches.
You've got butterflies in your stomach.
You got a Charlie horse.
Operation.
A broken heart, of course.
Operation.
A white cramp is true.
Operation.
And I'm the doctor for you.
Operation. Remove the pieces and collect your fee, but don't touch the sides.
Water on the knees.
Operation.
Out another fee.
Operation.
A rib or two.
Operation.
I'm the doctor for you.
Next, please.
Operation from Milton Bradley.
Operation was one I definitely had as a kid, and I was always like a little bit scared to play it because in my kid mind, touching the metal like pinchers or whatever to the side when you're trying to take out the piece, it felt like it was shocking you. It was crazy. You're just feeling the patient's pain. That's what it was trying to symbolize. Trying to pull out fucking butterflies from his stomach and rib bones for some reason. Also kind of weird. He's just, you know, images of kids pulling shit out of this dude's body. I miss the 90s, man. On to the next one.
Is it me? Is it you?
No.
Guess who?
You guess who? That's a mystery. Your doesn't have red hair. Nope.
I'm history.
But I'm still here.
Can you guess who with the clues that tell? Does your person have a beard? No.
Farewell.
Can you guess who till you have your clues? Does your person wear glasses? No.
Oh, I see it's not you.
Me neither.
Can you guess who? I know, it's David. I win. Let's play again. Can you guess who runs in the clues?
Game cards do not actually talk.
Guess Who's another great little game. Had that in my elementary school classroom, and kids would always take like the people cards out of it and they would just get lost, so you'd have like blank ones, and I don't know why they did that or what they were doing with them, but yeah, Guess Who was great. Great theme song, and it's just a guessing game. It's super simple. Does your character have tits? No, I win. Can you guess who? Do you have a clue? You know, it's it was super simple. A match would take like 30 seconds. Let's move on to the next one.
It's the ultimate challenge. CROSSFIRE.
Crossfire. You get caught up in the crossfire. 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 Crossfire.
You'll get caught up in it.
CROSSFIRE's theme song, straight fucking fire, literally. And this was one that I played a lot at my friend's house. It was a board game that my parents kind of refused to buy because if you lost, you know, set amount of pieces, those little metal balls, the game was completely useless and it was just a piece of cardboard. So never got to own it. Apparently it's really hard to find now, just like most of these board games. So if anyone has CROSSFIRE and wants to challenge me, I'll accept. And that's gonna do it for this video. I know there's a ton of different board games out there, and yes, I might do a part 2 on this just like the video game one and just like the food one, because back then there was infinite amounts of cool, weird commercials for things that we liked. These are just the ones that I remember off the top of my head that really stuck with me because of the theme song, and maybe because the games were fun, who knows? And as always, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button down below, and the notification bell lets you know when I go live and when I upload new content, which is usually once a week. And don't forget to share this video with someone who might get a kick out of watching these nostalgic board game videos from the 90s. Ooh! Thanks again for tuning in, and I will see you next time in the Nerd Lair.
Put the pieces into the slot, make the right selection, but be quick, you're racing the clock. Goes perfection. You race to fit the shapes into the slots, but you better be quick, or the section will pop. This piece here and that piece there, put those pieces